welcome to Dave's Think Tank. I recently went through a Playfield replacement, taking out my old Bally Star Trek Playfield with its 23-year-old overlay surface and putting in a new clear-coated replacement board from CPR. The process went about as well as you could expect, but still had several tense moments. But even after I thought I was done, I still found a number of issues I had to deal with. Now I'm going to go through all the issues, I'm going to go through my solutions, but stick around to the end, because at the end I'm going to introduce you to a new one-ball challenge that I've added to my Star Trek programming, based on the Kobayashi Maru test. After installing the new Playfield, I found that these two pop bumpers were really weak. This one was good, but these two, it would hit, and the balls would just dribble off of them. Well, long story short, after a lot of investigation, I found out I had switched these two. So I had to lift the board, take these off, and reverse them. So, good thing to check after you've done a Playfield replacement. Check all your solenoids. Make sure you haven't switched them. Check all the lights, make sure you haven't switched them. Check all the switches, make sure you haven't switched any of them. After the Playfield replacement, I noticed the left flipper was really weak. The problem was the end of stroke switch, which was opening too soon, cutting off the power to the flipper. It probably got bent when I was moving all the wires. The gap should only be about 1/16 of an inch, so remember to check all the switches after moving a Playfield. Another thing I found I needed to do was to re-level the Playfield. This level is 9 inches long, and the Playfield itself is about 22 inches wide. So if you find you have to lift that about 1/8 of an inch to level it, yeah, double that. So make it 1/4 inch that you have to lift that. Now, I was talking to a friend, and he's got a cart which he can just put underneath any of his machines, jack the machine up, and level them quite easily. I don't have quite such a nice setup myself. This is my approach. Get underneath, put your back on the Playfield, on the underside of the pinball, lift, and rotate. Now, these are 16 threads per inch. So if you want to lift it 1/4 inch, you have to turn it a full 4 turns. I usually can do it by hand because they're not all that stiff. I don't really need a wrench. So instead of 4, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's how you do it. I had a problem with these drop targets. When the drop targets would pop up, most of the time it was fine, but a couple times per game, this one on the end would not stay up. So this is the one that was giving me trouble. It just barely had enough room to get up over the edge, and if it did, it might just hit up there, hit the Playfield, and get knocked back. So I fixed it. Now what I did, I put a little extra strength pulling the drop target forward. So a second spring from the usual attachment point here and up to, there's a screw here holding the solenoid on, and I just put the spring on that and a lock nut over top of that. And that has done the job. Another problem I had with the drop targets, say a couple of them were down and the ball came along slowly, it would often just find a resting place right there. Now, how are you going to fix that? These were obviously just a little bit low, and so the ball was able to find a resting place there. Now I believe the cause of the problem is that the Playfield is assumed to be a ½ inch thick, which it is, but then the clear coat on top of that adds just a 32nd of an inch maybe, which causes the drop targets to be slightly below the level of the Playfield, and when the ball falls in there, it just gets stuck. So there's no adjustment here. There's no way to push that up. So what I did, I found a piece of cardboard. This is, well, I'll show you, it's from these new electronic products from Google, from Apple. They always come in these really tough boxes. This is as hard as wood. So this piece of cardboard, I cut it to just the right size that it slips right in there. And it's never coming out. And it lifts the drop targets just a 1/16 of an inch, which is a little bit too much, but better too much than too little. I had a problem with a couple of these wire guides. They would sink. One end would just sink lower and lower with every game, and after a week it was down a 1/4 inch or more. So when I drilled holes for those wire guides, I accidentally went right through the board, and so if I had not gone through the board, it wouldn't be able to fall down, but it does. So I put a screw in right here, and the head of the screw prevents the wire guide from slipping down. Now on this side, this is the other one that was coming through. I just put some duct tape on there. I figured I'm not going to put a screw in there. I'll try the duct tape. So we'll see if that holds it. This outhole mechanism gave me a lot of trouble. I managed to get it installed in the wrong place. It was back, maybe a 1/4 inch from here, which doesn't sound like much, but it just didn't have the strength then to get it up this hill. And every other time it didn't manage to make it up the hill, and it would kick it 2, sometimes 3 times before it got out. Well, part of the problem was there are a couple of holes in the board here for these bolts to go down into, and they didn't cut the holes all the way through. So I re-drilled the holes. I didn't drill them far enough to the right here, and so I had to take this off. I had to re-drill those holes. Had to take a file and cut them down even further to get this as close to this as I could. Okay, then with the piece removed, I was able to fill in the holes. There's 3 holes here holding it to the board. Had to fill in the holes with toothpicks and wood glue. And the process is put glue on the toothpicks, put them in there, get as many in as you can, leave it overnight so that it's good and hard, and then you can move this over, draw some circles where you want the new holes, drill pilot holes, and put the screws in. But the holes were too close to the old holes that I couldn't just put the screws in a new place. I had to actually fill in the old holes first of all. But now it's working pretty well. Had a couple problems that the new Playfield actually fixed. On the old Playfield, if you hit the 300 straight on, it would hit both these posts and it would not connect, would not score. So the posts seem to be the exact same width, but somehow it misses them. So it's actually working now, so I'm glad of that. The other thing which used to happen all the time, this was slightly narrow, and the ball would sometimes get stuck in there, and now it doesn't. Here's something that kind of annoys me about the new Playfield. More than just kind of annoys me. The ball used to go through here almost every time it fell into the saucer. But now, quite often, it'll go around one side, it'll go around the other side. For some reason it seems wider through there, and it will often miss that hole. So I started to think, what's going on here? I measured this hole. It is 3 centimeters. I went to the old Playfield and measured 4 centimeters. For some reason, they have cut the hole completely different than the original. Why is that? I don't know, but it's kind of annoying. And one thing that CPR has done that's kind of fun, on the center of the Playfield is the Enterprise from the TV show, and on the sides of the ship, if you know the ship, it has these 2 tubes which are called, known as the nacelles. And what CPR has done, well, the original Playfield, this was just painted on the wood. In the replacement Playfield, they have hollowed out underneath these so you can add a couple of lights. So here are those holes on the underside, and I've put a couple of lamps in there. I tried different colored bulbs. I had fire bulbs, or was my original idea, that would be a kind of a flickering effect, but they're just too red. I tried different colors, and I finally ended up with just cool white LED bulbs. But yeah, just very easy to hook up to the 5-volt switched line. Now you could hook this up to the GI lights and have them on all the time, and that would be a reasonable, sensible thing to do. I'm going to try to hook them up to switched lights, and there are 2 unused switch lights. Their numbers 11 and 12, and I have figured out that if I take a wire from here to J315 on the MPU board, and from here to J1-23 on the MPU board, I will be able to control these in my software. So that is that's my goal for today. Okay, I think I said MPU board. Obviously the lights go in the lamp board. This is J1, and what did I say? J1-23. So right about here, I've got I have created a couple of connectors on long spools of wire. I'm not going to cut the wire until I'm sure this is going to work, but one of these will go in J1-23, and the other one will go into J3-15. So right about there, I think. Okay, so I'm going to put those in and roll this wire down into there, and we'll bring it over to the lamps, see if we can get them to work. Okay, so I took that wire off of these reels. It's about 20 feet of wire each, but it's all strung out in here. I got a couple of alligator clips. I had matching colors, because I had matching colors. Green here is attached to the right nacelle. Yellow is attached to the left nacelle. And so I'm expecting this is 11 and this is 12. And let's just see. Do the flame test first.
Hello, computer.
Okay, now they're not going to go on because I've not programmed them yet, but they should go on to the self-test. I know, but I'm going to do it. Okay, they're both flashing. Excellent. And now let's see if they correspond to the numbers 11, 12. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's number 10. And This should be 11 and 12. 11, yes. And 12. Okay, fantastic. It actually works.
Most illogical.
Nonetheless, it works. Well, you may be wondering, how did I figure out 11 would be J315 and 12 would be J123. I compared it to my Flash Gordon, which uses lights 11 and 12, and the lights that it used, I went to the schematics for the lamp board, and it told me these were the correct connections. So what I have to do now is secure these wires, and then why don't we take a look at it from the top once I've done that. Oh, let's take a look from the top side. I've got all the wiring in place. It's all soldered in.
Scotty, energize.
And it's not going to show up in the attract mode.
Fully operable, Scotty? Yes, sir.
And the only thing it'll show up in right now is switch test. So let's try that. There we go. That's what it looks like. And let's just go through the numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You may be wondering, why did I light them up separately? I could have just wired them with one wire. I may want at some point to show the ship in distress with one lit and one flickering, something like that. So I thought I'd leave myself that option. Now, I promised you I'd show you the new Kobayashi Maru test.
Captain, I'm getting something on the distress channel.
Affirmative. This is the Kobayashi Maru. 19 periods out of Altair 6. We have struck a gravitic mine and have lost all power.
Now, this is the Kobayashi Maru test. The idea is there are 4 planets over here where the Kobayashi Maru may be. You have to investigate each of the 4, which just means knocking them down. And at the same time, you're being attacked by Klingon ships. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships. So I've set it up every 15 seconds. You're attacked by a ship, you have to respond. So there'll be a timer up here, counting 15 seconds. Now you can hide for a while and we're in hide mode right now. We're hiding down here. If you get the ship up here, you will be hidden and they won't be able to find you for as long as it takes for you to fall back onto the playfield. So this music plays when you're hiding. Get onto the playfield. Okay, and as soon as you hit something on the playfield, you get this music, and you have 15 seconds. Every time you hit a ship, the timer resets. If you go into hiding, the timer's gone, but you're quickly back out again. Okay, let's try hitting some of the planets. Checking out a planet for the Kobayashi Maru.
We need power.
Okay, we're going to hit something. Timer goes back to 15. Let's try another one.
We're running out of time.
You can go up here and hide. And this is a good hiding spot. You can stay there for a while if you're feeling stressed. Okay. Everything you hit does nothing. Let's try hitting a...
Starting to make it, are we?
And one more planet to go. Oh, we missed it.
It's a big galaxy, Mr. Scott.
So that is the Kobayashi Maru test. If you watched my previous videos where I installed the Playfield, you may recall that there was a warping that it would bounce from this corner to that corner. And I did various things in those videos to try and deal with that. Fairly successfully. By the end of the third video, I found that all I needed to do was put the lock bar in place and it would hold the Playfield down. So after a few weeks of having that lock bar holding everything down, the warp is pretty much gone. That's all there is. You wouldn't even notice that. So that has worked itself out, thankfully. Okay, that's got to be enough for today. Let's play a game.
It's a big galaxy, Mr. Scott.
Yes, it is.
Number 2 shield is gone, sir.
Okay, there are 3 one-ball challenges. They're associated now with the reward levels. My award levels are set at 50,000, 150, and 250. So if I get 150, I will get my first one-ball game. Okay, that's the skill shot. Got the B.
Fire all fixtures.
Okay, gotta do better.
USS Enterprise calling Klingon vessel. Acknowledge, please.
Oh, and by the way, I went off and did a bit of quick programming to get those lit up. There we go. Got the A, skill shot.
Fire all fixtures. Arm photon torpedoes.
Oh, come on, yes.
Photon torpedoes, fire.
Oh.
Fire all fixtures.
Okay, I passed 50.
Sensors are picking up a Klingon battle cruiser.
It's my first one-ball challenge. I have to hit 5 Klingons. The lit targets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, got 2. Oh, I got 3. Sometimes you get that one, you don't even know it. 4. Still have the Y. Come on. Come on. Oh. That should have been there. Oh,
Bridge to captain.
no. Okay, skill shot is the A. Got it.
Arm photon torpedoes.
Okay, made it to 150.
1 minute to undestruct.
Second game, I have a 60-second timer there. 60 seconds to hit the 4 drop targets. Oh, that's 2. Down to 47 seconds. No.
Scotty, we need power.
These one-ball games are harder than they look. Okay, I have to make it to 250 so I can show you the Kobayashi Maru test.
Photon torpedoes, fire.
Oh no.
Fire all phases.
Well, there's 249. I think I'm gonna make it. Haha. Got the B, 12,000 points for that. See if I can get the A. Come on, A. There we go.
Photon torpedoes.
Yeah, I need those 2 L's.
Photon torpedoes.
Got it.
Fire all phases.
Captain, I'm getting something on the distress channel.
Affirmative. This is the Kobayashi Maru. 19 periods out of all tier 6. We have struck a gravitic mine and have lost all power.
Okay, this is the Kobayashi Maru test. If you can hear that music, that's the hiding music. When you're hidden from the Klingons, you hear that music. The idea here is there are 4 targets. They are 4 planets in the system to be searched for the Kobayashi Maru. But there are Klingons after you, and every 15 seconds you have to hit a Klingon, or you're done. That didn't last long.
Try again.
Nope, no skill shot. Nope.
Fire all phases.
St. Clair shoots again.
Battle station. All hands to battle. Fire all phases.
By golly, Jim, I'm beginning to think I can cure a rainy day.
Well, 396,000, that's not a terrible game. Wish I could have shown you the Kobayashi Maru test, a bit more of that, but these games are tough.
Most illogical.
Yeah.